Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast. Let me start out by saying to you this. I am a consumer. A little, itsy-bitsy, insignificant consumer that is pretty upset, pretty disappointed, and pretty ashamed. Let me tell you exactly my experience with Sears Canada. We have decided many years ago to put in a suite in our home. And beautiful suite, got all the appliances from Sears. And we've got the best tenants you could possibly ask for. They moved in a couple of months ago. And their range all of a sudden stopped working. It's been in there for about 5 years. So, okay, so we're going to replace it. I think maybe even less than 5 years, I don't know. So we phone up Sears and we order the range. And we ordered it October 29th, 2011. October 29th. And their response was, oh, Mr. Holland, we can't possibly get that range out to you until November 23rd, which is about 6 days shy of a month. So, well, that's ridiculous. Well, that's all we've got. That's all we can do. I said, you can't take it from the store. This is your only option? Yes. Okay. So this little insignificant consumer accepts that. November 23rd comes around. At 8 o'clock in the morning, ring, ring, get a telephone call. It's Sears. What could this be? Mr. Holland, we are unable to deliver your range today. Sorry about that. I said, what? Yeah, we're unable to deliver your range today. Sorry about that. Well, what does that mean? Well, that's it. Nothing else. No further information whatsoever. So November 24th, November 25th comes along, November 26th, November 27th, and our renters, delightful people, but they're getting a little anxious because they got 2 little kids. And you know what having 2 little kids are like without having a range. So we loan them our convection style little oven, little guy. But still, I mean, it's not a range, right? It doesn't have a top, cooktop on it. So November 26th and 27th and 28th comes rolling around, and it is now December 2nd. So I get a haircut, and I decide, you know what? This is ridiculous. I was just waiting to see if Sears was going to respond to say, this is when it's going to be arranged. Nobody called. No one called me. So I drive down to Sears, and the lady at Sears was very, very nice and polite and professional. And she looked through her records and she says, you know what, we got a schedule for December 5th between 8 and 1. And I said, okay, here's the thing. That's news to me. I want you to look in your records and find out, did anybody think of bothering to pick up the phone and make a 10-second call? You see, you win business in increments. It's called the slight edge principle. You disappointed a customer. I don't have an issue with that because I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's the recovery of the mistake I'm concerned about. If you fix the mistake, a mistake can be easily forgiven. So we'll give you a second chance. But not one person from Sears thought to pick up the phone us and say, by the way, or even if we're out, we've got an answering system. By the way, your range is going to be delivered December 5th. Nobody. Until I walk into the store December 2nd. So I said, well, okay, I'll go home and I'm going to phone corporate. And their corporate number is 1-877-210-6449. Get on the phone to them. Do the song and dance with them. Explain the whole thing. And I said, look, I want compensation for this. It's ridiculous. These people, you've inconvenienced these people a whole day and you don't even say sorry? Oops, doesn't cut it. So he says, yeah, I see in our records that you're indeed right, Mr. Holland, that we could not deliver it on the 23rd, almost a month after you've ordered it, and there is no data saying that anybody phoned you. That's exactly my point. See, I'll forgive you for one mistake, but you had an opportunity to fix this. You cannot argue with these facts. Ordered October 29th. Disappointed November 23rd. Surprised December 5th. If we hadn't have been home, if we're not, say we're out and nobody phoned us, and our renters were out. We lived in the same house as the renters, and nobody was home, it would be again a colossal screw-up. So what I'm telling you is this: Sears, you're not paying attention. You don't have the ability to fix your own mistakes. I'm ashamed and embarrassed for you. And you had better start paying attention to people, because this one small, insignificant person is going to talk to the internet. And collectively, the internet will surprise you. Because here's what I did when I got home. I went on the internet and I searched for complaints against Sears. And it would take you hours, maybe days, to wade through all of the complaints. Now granted, some of them are frivolous and some of them are not Sears' fault. But you can't argue with that many complaints. They're all over the place. There's on YouTube, they're on Google, it's just littered. I was surprised. Well, I've lived through the horror. So what I'm saying to you, Sears, is this. You may think that we're pathetic, individual, little consumers that don't mean anything. But I tell you what, this little consumer can get on a podcast and talk to thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people about the crappy service he received from your store. And this is the way you want to brand yourself, and this is the way you want to give service, and this is the way you want to get my future business? I don't think so. Okay, so you've disappointed me twice now. So what's the chances that in the next 10 days, 2 weeks, a month, that I'm going to tell most of everybody that I meet about this situation? But if I was pleased, I'd be giving them a good story. But I can't do that. You know, I used to work for a wizard business. I don't know if anybody in the Vancouver area remembers United Buy and Sell Furniture Warehouse. I was a manager for John Vulcan. He was the owner, and he had a mind like a steel trap. One of the best businessmen I have ever met. And he said, Rick, nowadays people, they look at the price, same price, right? Over here in this corner and over here, so the price doesn't make any difference. It's the service that counts. And he said, take a snapshot in your mind, take a snapshot of your business right now, whatever you're doing right now. Either you're in business or you're not in business. And I don't know how many horror stories there are about Sears out there on the internet. But I'll tell you what, it shocked me. I was absolutely blown away. So there was a wonderful podcast. I'm going to find it and see if I can put the link up below this video. It was about a woman explaining how Sears is losing ground traction, how Walmart is just eating their lunch because they're not branding properly, they're not appealing to customers, their service is going down, the whole thing. So I'll see if I can find it. It was really, really well done, and my hat's off to that blogger. So that's my little bit of a rant and rave, but it isn't over, because I told him to make a specific note to make absolutely certain that this range is delivered on the 5th of December. So we'll see. Oh, you want to see me go absolutely ballistic if it's not delivered on December 5th. Oh my gosh. Just look out. So, you know what? I'm watching you like a hawk. So that's what we've got here. Normally I'm very, very mild-mannered, but I mean, I tell you what, this is an injustice. This could happen to anybody. All right? So there you go. So Rick Holland, your host, saying we're hoping for a good outcome, and goodness help them if they don't, because I'll tell you what, I don't know. I mean, my goodness, what do I have to do? Stand on my head and spit green jelly beans out of my mouth for you to do what it takes to do business properly? All right, I'm done. I'll go have a coffee and settle down now. Thanks, folks, for listening. This is Rick Holland for Abbotsford Small Business. This is a large business, and that's why I love working with small businesses. You know why? They can react really quickly. You don't have to go through corporate. You don't have to make a whole bunch of phone calls. You don't have to go chasing them down. They react really quickly. Hats off to you, small businesses. Thanks. This is Rick Holland saying, we'll talk to you next podcast. Stay safe. Have a good day of business. Bye-bye.